So in the past 6 months, I've finished, like fully finished, 14 tracks. Now 6 of those have been released on record labels this year, and I have another 8 right here that I'm currently sending to record labels and trying to get released. Now in this video, I want to talk about 1, how to avoid the mediocre idea trap, which has saved me so much time, and 2, I want to talk about how I finish songs a lot faster using AI, and it's not the generative AI you're probably thinking of. It's actually a lot simpler than that. Now, finishing 14 songs in 6 months might not sound that crazy to you, but keep in mind, I basically have a full-time job. My full-time job is mixing music for other people, making sound packs. I make and edit all these YouTube videos myself, and I make courses. Also, in the past couple months, I actually got married. So I went on my honeymoon. I took a lot of time off for that. And I also did a bucket list trip to Japan with my twin brother this year. Anyway, the whole point is I actually don't have that much time to work on my own music. And I know most of you are probably in the same boat. Life is crazy. You don't have enough time to work on your tunes. So let's dive in here. Let me talk about this like 2-step process that I use to make a lot more music. So I literally woke up in the middle of the night one night and had to go to the bathroom. And while I was on the toilet, a bass line idea popped in my head. So I grabbed my phone and I recorded this into the voice notes. I know that sounds terrible and you probably can't hear the vision at all, but I heard it in my head, and the next day I turned it into this. And it's this point where the biggest trap in making music happens. Like, you have a cool bass line idea or a cool chord progression, and you just start to build a track around it. Like, you spend hours producing all the drums, you spend hours trying to find the right sounds to use, you try to mix the song as you go, and you end up producing the full track around this pretty cool idea. But then, like, once you get to a certain point, you're gonna realize, wait a second, it's missing that memorable moment. Like, I need like a catchy vocal hook to bring this all together. And that's really how I made music for the longest time. I would just start with an idea I thought was cool and just build the track around that and build it out and spend time producing it. And then I'd figure out like the vocals later. I'd send it to some singers and try to figure that part out later. But in the bathroom that night, I actually recorded something else too. It was a vocal idea for the bass line, and it's gonna sound terrible.
I've been up for 2 days straight, I'm not sober. As I get older.
So I'm like trying not to wake up my wife, and I'm just kind of like humming this melody, this vocal melody that I heard in my head. So the next day I actually recorded that vocal idea and like put lyrics to it and fleshed it out a little bit more and came up with this rough idea.
I've been up for 2 days straight, I'm not sober. Nights like this won't be here as I get older.
So I hate listening to my own voice, but I turned around and then used that demo to send to like a real singer. I wanted these like African type vocals on it. So I found this African singer and he sent this back to me.
I've been up for 2 days straight, I'm not sober. Nights like this won't be here as I get older. I've been all up in my head like I told ya, but I would just keep pushing on like a soldier, like a soldier.
So instead of just like producing out an idea and seeing what happens, I just focus on writing the main memorable part first, and then I can build the track around that. Now, the most important thing you can do at this point in the process is just stop. Don't work on this anymore. Don't produce the drums. Don't build out the track yet. But the most important thing you can do is just go work on other ideas. So you don't have to sing in your phone in the bathroom to come up with a song idea. Like, there's lots of ways to come up with ideas. Let me just show you one of those ways. So I like to keep a samples folder of my favorite loops and samples that I've heard. So in this folder, I have things like this. So let me take that loop and try to get some vocals on it and see if it can work well with any vocal samples that I have.
Ooh, sunset and gold sweat, green tea, yeah, we smoking.
So I noticed this vocal sample is only a half a semitone over the other one. So I'm gonna drag both of those in there. And then what we can also do is just get some basic drums to start this song idea too. So in my new organic house drums pack, I actually have a folder specifically for this reason called Song Starters. And we can take one of these full loops just for the purpose of building out the track. So let me drag that in here. And now I'll just go ahead and sync up the BPMs and keys of these different loops.
Ooh, sunset and cold sweat, green tea, yeah, we smoking, cool breeze and a few friends. Ooh, sunset and cold sweat, green tea, yeah, we smoking, cool breeze and a few friends.
So that's just another way to get a song idea down really fast. I mean, there's a ton of ways to come up with song ideas, but the whole point is we're not just having like a chord progression and building a song around that. We're not just having a bass line and building a song around that. It should be a combination of things that make the track memorable. Like in this case, I think it's the guitar mixed with the vocal. In the other example we were using, it was the vocal mixed with the bass line. So the more song ideas you can come up with like this, the better. Just come up with a ton of ideas. And then the next thing you do is you just walk away. Like go outside, go for a walk, like talk to a female maybe, like go live your life. And then you come back with fresh ears and you check out all your song ideas you made, all those memorable ideas you made. And a lot of them are actually gonna be terrible when you listen with fresh ears, but you're gonna find some that you really like. And what you're gonna do next is you just pick the favorite idea that you came up with, and then you spend time producing that one. So let's say you come back and you have like 10 ideas to pick from, and you end up choosing this one as your favorite idea.
I've been up for 2 days straight, I'm not sober. Nights like this won't be here as I get older.
So now we can focus on building out this track, but there's a really good way of not getting stuck in this 8-bar loop and actually arranging the full track like immediately. So what you're gonna do is drag a track that you like the arrangement of, like the overall flow of how the arrangement goes, drag that track into your DAW, and then split the stems. And I know there are some other good AI stem splitters out there if you don't have one in your DAW, but what I'm gonna do is just delete everything except the drums. I just want the drums by themselves.
I've been up for 2 days straight, I'm not sober. Nights like this won't be here as I get older.
So these drums don't work that well with my track, but that's not the point. The point is now we have this template that I can arrange my track to and build it on top of. Like maybe I want to start with the bass line at the beginning of the track and see how that sounds. And then using this drum track as a template, I can start to write some chords in there. I could add like a synth melody in there. I can start layering on the melodic sounds in my track and building out the track over this arrangement. And then once the arrangement's done, all you would do is take that track and delete it. So that's why I like to call this like the borrow and then delete method, because you're basically borrowing the arrangement from another track, then getting rid of it, and then you're just replacing your own drums in there. And if something's not working, you don't have to follow that arrangement exactly. Like I could easily like chop out this part and move the buildup over or change anything that I want. But the point is just to have a general template to build on top of and not worry about the drums just yet. And part of the reason is because drum programming takes a really long time. If you want to nail the drum sounds for a track, it can take a while to figure out what you want to do and how you want to layer the sounds and what sounds you want to use. So it just saves you a lot of time to worry about the melodic stuff first and the arrangement part, and then replace those drums later. So now I want to show you the final mix and how different the drums ended up. So I'll just play this until like the first drop hits. And after that, I want to give you a discount code for my new Organic House Drum sample pack if you want it. So anyway, here's how that track ended up.
Up for 2 days straight, I'm not sober. Nights like this won't be here as I get older. I've been all up in my head like I told ya, but I would just keep pushing on like a soldier. I've been up for 2 days straight, I'm not sober. Nights like this won't be here as I get older. I've been all up in my head like I told ya, but I would just keep pushing on like a soldier. Like a soldier. Like a soldier.
So it might not be your thing, but I like how funky and weird it came out. I really like the vibe of it. But I don't even think this whole video is just about finishing more music. It's actually about making better music too, because you're not wasting time on mediocre ideas and you're only producing out your very favorite ideas. Anyway, let me give you a discount code if you want the organic house drums pack. Just use the code YOWHAT'SGOOD and I'll give you 25% off the pack. And I really appreciate you guys watching the videos. I'll catch you next time. Peace.